Hi, everybody. Today I'm doing another leg of my Durban to, excuse me, got it backwards, Dublin to Durban trek, having started in Dublin, Ireland. Uh, this is the fifth or sixth leg of my trip. I went from Dublin to Liverpool, Liverpool to Leeds, Leeds to Prestwick, Prestwick to Edinburgh, Edinburgh to Newcastle, where I am now. So this will be the sixth leg. Going to fly to Manchester. It's about 100 some miles. Won't be long in this. Won't take a long time. And I'm going to just in a moment ask for the clearance from the tower to turn back over that way toward the runway. 25, I believe, is the one we're going to take off today. I hope they don't tell me to go the other way, but I checked the weather. This is our flight plan. We're going to take off from here and go down to Manchester for an ILS landing on runway 23 right. So without any further ado, I will get request taxi for, let's call it, to depart straight out, whatever that.
Newcastle ground, Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha with Sierra request taxi for takeoff departing straight out.
Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha taxi to and hold short of runway 25 using taxiway Alpha Tree Alpha 4 Alpha Alpha 5 Delta 8 Delta Delta 7 Delta 6 Delta 5 Delta 4 Delta Tree Delta 1. Contact tower on 119.705 when ready.
As usual, I have no idea what all that
Taxiing hold short runway
string
25
of,
by taxiway Alpha Tree Alpha 4 Alpha Alpha 5 Delta 8 Delta Delta 7 Delta 6 Delta 5 Delta 4 Delta Tree Delta 1 Beechcraft Oscar Hotel Alpha.
well, that's why I use, that's why I cheat with a taxi ribbon over there. Okay, done with taxiing. I'm at the runway 25, holding short until I ask for clearance to take off. I think I'm going to cruise at 7,000 feet today. It's clear weather. We'll see more stuff that way. I don't like flying high particularly. The approach, 23R at Manchester, set the frequency for the localizer 109. 109.5 here is the active frequency. And I need to be at 3,500 feet here at whatever waypoint that is. And that's where we intersect the localizer beacon, and ILS should take over for most of the descent. Be on autopilot most of the way until the last few scary seconds of landing when I have to take over. So I'm gonna contact the tower and get
Newcastle Tower Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha at runway 25 ready for departure departing straight out.
Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha altimeter tree 0.03 wind 271 and 12. Departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 25.
Okay, so acknowledge
Cleared
that.
for takeoff runway 25 Beechcraft Oscar Hotel Alpha.
And gotta set my flaps. Important thing to remember to do. Alright, well, here goes. I tried to fly the other day straight from Newcastle to London City. It was kind of a mess. Took a long time, longer than I like to spend on any one flight. And the ILS didn't work, and I managed to land. Interesting landing coming right in the middle of London. I might try it again. But I decided to do a shorter leg this time for real. So anyway, here we go. Raise the gear. Adjust the trim, the elevators for a positive climb rate. And as you can see, we're already on the heading here, so I'm just gonna raise the flaps, and we're just already on autopilot. And I'll set about 1,000 feet per minute ascend rate. Reduce the RPMs a little bit over there. And that's it. So we're climbing to a cruise altitude of 7,000 feet. Don't need to go any higher because there's nothing in the way. And that means I only have to descend about 3,500 feet to intersect the localizer at Manchester, which makes for less makes for an easier descent for me because I don't have to get down as far. I like to stay as close as I can to that altitude. If that makes any sense. So, enjoy the English countryside, and I'll be back to you later.
Newcastle Tower Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha frequency change. Approach Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha is type Beechcraft with 36.5 miles southwest of Newcastle, 3,100 feet. Request flight following.
Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha approved. Squawk 0143.
Squawk 0143 Beechcraft Oscar Hotel Alpha.
Beechcraft Oscar Hotel Alpha radar contact 6 miles southwest of Newcastle, 3,600 feet. Altimeter 3, 0.03.
Roger Beechcraft Oscar Hotel Alpha.
I've been flying the, quote, flying, the twin-engine Beech Baron because it has full de-icing. And this plane only has prop de-icing. But at this altitude and in this weather, well, it's not very warm. It's freezing out there, -9 Celsius. But we're not encountering any moisture, so I don't expect to have any problems with ice. I sure hope not, because there wouldn't be much I could do about it except get down to a lower altitude. But we won't be going through clouds, so that's where you pick up the ice. Fortunately, there's no reason to go any higher than 7,000 feet on this flight. But if I had, and if there had been weather in this plane, I would have been toast. Okay, I'm back. We are going to be shortly turning here, and then it's a straight-in approach to runway T23 right at Manchester. And here where it says TOD for top of descent, that's where we would need to be at 3,500 feet. I guess it'd be kind of fun to just hedge hop the English countryside from one little airport to another, and might try that after I get to London. I would like to visit Salisbury and Bath and those areas. And here's our intersection. This course now bears no relation to the chart. It seems like whatever I try to do on Navigraph comes up weird in this flight planner. So I inserted this waypoint here, which lines up perfectly with the final approach to Manchester, and that seemed to solve the problem. So let's start down. We're now about 23 miles to go till we really get to the approach. And we're doing about 120 knots. So I don't know if a knot is not a mile, but half an hour maybe, or less. It's amazing how developed England is. Everything is cut up in parcels. There are villages, there are little land holdings. There's really very little anything in the way of wild country here. I guess you'd have to go north to the Scottish Highlands to see anything approaching wilderness. And my wife and I were just talking about how in 2006, boy, that was a long time ago already, we were finishing up a trip in France and flew on the way home. We flew from Marseille via Gatwick, London, and So, flying across southwestern France, the country's really wild, very wild.
Descend and maintain
Mountainous,
keep speed not
forested.
18 knots expect
Uh,
ILS runway 32 approach by Lima
it's
Bravo
not all
Roger and
chopped up
clear.
into
Lima
farms
Bravo
and
Alpha
whatever.
Transit 218.
And then as soon as you cross the channel, we crossed the channel, looked down, and everything was just so neat. We're at 3,500, and the next thing I need to do is change the alt setting so it's lower than that. This is to give the autopilot permission to go lower than that. Runway elevation, well, it's practically sea level, of course. It's only 250 feet. And I'm going to make this 1,200 feet on the alt setting here. I should talk to the Manchester Tower. It's full stop landing.
Manchester Tower Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha is 22 miles northeast, 3,500 feet with Mike to land.
Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha Manchester Tower. Altimeter tree 0.06 wind 290 at 15. Make straight in runway 2.
How did I know 23 right? Well, I found a pretty neat website where I can look up any airport if I have their, it's called an ICAO code, and I could see the current weather conditions, and it told me which way the wind was blowing, and I knew from that the active runway would be 23 right. We're pretty low over this terrain. Well, this is a little bit wilder. Where are we here? Alright, this is it. This better... Well, okay, nothing is happening on this approach. Alright, there it is. I had to activate it. Okay, so sometimes I can hit APR, but not this time. Now I can do it. I think I've got to go lower. Okay, this is the glide slope indicator right here, and we're below. I don't know where we are in relation to it. Well, we're not at the final approach fix yet. So, I'm going to stop that descent. Here we go. I think we should start the descent now. Final approach fix is now. We're a little bit under it. Okay, this is the glide slope indicator, this little diamond, and we are below it. So we're below the glide slope. But that's alright because we're going to intersect it shortly. If we're not intersecting it, I'm going to get a little worried. I believe that's the runway over there. There's another airport here that there's no charts or anything for it. Okay, we have the glide slope indicator in green. So we're on the glide slope, and I'm going to slow down. I should go look for the big soccer stadium here, man, where Manchester United plays. So I had to reach the final approach fix before anything would happen. And in this case, for some reason, I had to activate the approach. I guess it was not really loaded. I thought I'd loaded it. We're still 5-6 miles from the runway. which is right there. Okay.
Beechcraft Oscar Hotel Alpha Wind Com cleared to land runway 23
Right,
right.
it'll let me land.
Cleared to land runway 23 right, Beechcraft Oscar Hotel Alpha.
I'm getting almost so I can see these airports without those road signs. Okay, I think I'll put in some flaps. Means I have to add a little power. And probably a good time to lower the gear. Add a little more power. And need some more. I could put another notch of flaps, I guess. Full flaps. And more power. Don't want to stall. And I like to keep the runway right where it is, the way I'm looking at it. We would be descending at on about a 3-degree slope, the way this usually works. I always sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I have no idea. Okay. Almost time to get off the autopilot. I like to stay on it as long as I can because it keeps me centered in the middle of the runway. But it's time to go off. So that sound was the autopilot disengaging. And now, see those lights up there? I really want to keep them too white, too red. All red, you're dead. That's what it means. And as you can see, it's a little issue with staying lined up. But do it. And there we go. You have to
Beechcraft Oscar Hotel Alpha, turn next taxiway.
flare the plane that is raise the nose to basically you stall it. You stall it right over the runway so that it stops flying.
Manchester ground, Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha taxi to the gate.
Beechcraft Alpha Lima Oscar Hotel Alpha taxi to gate 53 using taxiway Hotel Golf.
Well, that was easy. HG. And I love these green things. Alright, well, so much for that. Thanks for watching. And I'll leave you with my traditional sign-off, the ATC farewell, which is always good day.